You know, Sheri, you mentioned Ed Burns. You know, we know you had a chance to sit down with Ed Burns at this past year's Sundance. What is he doing that you'd love to see more independent filmmakers doing?
That he really does think about the audience that he has. I mean, he's lucky in that he isn't starting from zero. He's been an independent filmmaker since the early 90s, you know, so he got picked up in the traditional system, and he's been able to benefit both by being an actor and also being a writer-director. So he can't totally be matched, you know, by the average indie person who's just starting out. But what I like about him, as far as being sort of a celebrity name of doing it, is that he does really devote himself to thinking about, okay, who are my most engaged people? And how can I distribute my work specifically to them? And I think, as you saw in the piece, that he realized in the mid-2000s that a lot of his audience was telling him that, you know, we'd love to see your films, but they never come to the theater near us. They always have such a limited release, and it's somewhere down in the big city, and we don't go down there very often, so we have to wait. And sometimes we would have to wait 9 months to a year. And we forgot about them. You know, we didn't know where they would be. So now he really pushes for online release where everybody has access to them, and he's fine with it. Like, he's adapted his thinking as a filmmaker from it has to be in a theater to I just want people to see my work, and it doesn't matter to me where they see it. That's incredible healthy, you know, attitude to have, and it's much more profitable, you know, than pushing yourself through that old traditional mindset of it has to be on a big screen, and it has to go to DVD next, and then it goes to digital after that, and then it goes to Netflix or television or wherever. That thinking more with your audience in mind, and that's going back to who's your audience, not just identifying who they are, but how do they consume media, and how will I distribute it based on how they consume media, not based on how the industry tells me I should release it and how I personally feel like I should release it because of this industry pressure. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't be aware of windows, that if you really do have broadcast potential for your film, you're not going to want to release it on Netflix first, because that negates having that. And it's very tricky to tell people, yeah, this film doesn't have any broadcast potential, because there's inevitably somebody who comes along and goes, I got a broadcast deal, you know. And so it's hard. It is hard to determine early on, you know, okay, we're not even going to go for cable VOD, because if we don't have a significant theatrical, it's not likely to get cable VOD. So we'll just go straight to iTunes and Netflix. You know, I don't know any filmmakers now who don't want to see their film on a screen in some way. It doesn't have to necessarily be a traditional cinema. It could be in, you know, conference rooms. It could be in community centers. It could be in churches. You know, those are still public gatherings where live people sit together in a communal atmosphere to watch a movie, and those are still legitimate, you know, experiences that people are getting just as if they went down to the Metroplex and sat in the theater seats, you know. I also like the aspect of coming to the Q&As and having your screenings be special events, a reason, give people a reason why they don't want to wait for it to come to iTunes or wait for it to go to Netflix, or just stay home and watch it. If you have some kind of live experience component to your screenings that they could never replicate at home, that experience, they will come, you know, that this is something special, something worth leaving my house for. But the good thing, you know, about Edward is that he really does care about who's watching, and he's taken that into consideration, and he talks to people. You know, he said that I love Twitter, I love talking with people on Twitter, and he's really open to that. He doesn't see himself as I'm an unattainable celebrity and who are you people, I don't have time for you. He makes time. He understands this is a value, not just from a marketing. I don't think that he does it totally with that predatory, because I'm going to need to use these people, so I'm going to do this a little bit now because I'll need their help, and I'm going to use them later. He does it in such a way that they say, how can we help you? That's what you want. You want people to be think it's a privilege to help you, not feel put upon, that they're coerced into doing this because you've deigned to speak to them, a little bit. So sort of changing that mindset of being more open to talking to people on a human level, even if it's using a tool that's not face-to-face, it's still human communication. You still are human and they are, and treat them with the respect you would treat somebody who was standing live in front of you.